A few months ago, I found out that sunflowers have a very specific purpose, and it all lies in the head of the flower. Confused? Well, allow me to explain that if you take the flower and cut it off the stem a bit early, before the seeds fully harden, then you can treat the flower like a slab of meat that you can cook and eat. Well, I didn't necessarily believe this at first. And so once I stumbled upon these huge sunflower heads at the market that were cut prematurely, I knew it was my moment. I needed to take one home and try it for myself. You can see that the man who grew these became my friend quickly.
Have you ever cooked one?
I've never cooked one.
Eat it, it's so good.
Really?
He even gave me a second sunflower for free. And just like that, my plan was set and I was all in. So, excited that my sunflower journey was off to a really great start, I was pumped to get home and cook these up to see if they would really live up to the expectation and taste like a slab of meat or not. It took a while, but when I got home, I finally got to work. I started brushing my thumbs on the flower to remove the pieces attached to the premature seeds. They're actually called disc florets, and they're tiny tubular flowers that protect the developing seeds underneath. They're pretty dry and fuzzy, and lucky for me, they came off quite easily. Soon, I started to reveal the edible, tender base of the sunflower head, and I knew that meant we were one step closer to completing the vision. You can see that I even picked off one of the seeds, and it was white and soft, whereas the hardened, flavored sunflower seeds we all know and love from the store are darker and harder, which is basically what happens if you were to leave this sunflower on the stem for a few more weeks. But anywho, I continued removing the disc florets, and then I started removing ray florets, which are the brighter yellow petals around the outer edge. They aren't typically eaten. Their job is mostly to attract pollinators. But soon, before I knew it, my sunflower head looked completely pale white, with a yellowy darkish center that was ready to take to the kitchen. But first, I had to remove all the florets from the second sunflower, and once both of our flowers looked a little something like this, I got ready to go to the kitchen, but I, of course, tasted one of the premature seeds first before cooking it to see what it even tasted like. And I was so pleasantly surprised to taste a chewy, nutty, buttery tasting tiny seed. It was delicious, and now I was really excited to get to the cooking stage. I went simple here. I added a bit of cold-pressed organic olive oil inside of my pan, removed the green parts beside the yellow petals, which are actually called bracts, and once my sunflowers looked like this and my oil was heated in the pan, I flipped the first sunflower upside down and then the second, and I cooked them for about 7 minutes, constantly spinning them around so that the edges would also get cooked really nicely, just until it was golden brown and looked a little something like this. To be honest, I wasn't exactly sure how long to cook them for, but I knew it wasn't a problem to eat them raw, so they didn't have to be too cooked. I added some salt, admired them for a bit, and then my moment finally came. I took a huge bite for the first time in my life, finally getting to taste what a premature sunflower really tastes like. And honestly, I was so pleasantly surprised. I feel like this would be the perfect food for a vegetarian or vegan who really wanted to have something hearty.
So cool! Doesn't taste like how I thought it would, but it's good.
Similar to meat, but not meat. It really did remind me of a slab of meat. It was tender, it was juicy, it was nutty, it was buttery, a great olive taste from the oil and the salt.
This is crazy.
Perfection. It also smelled so good. I just kept taking bite after bite, and I just kept on going. Basically, I ate the whole flower and then the second, and I soon realized that the middle part was definitely not meant for eating because that must have been too premature. It made my mouth really dry. I learned that since the sunflower was already picked early, the middle part didn't have enough time to develop fully, so the center was still full of bitter sap and immature flower tissue. So I made sure to stay away from the middle part because it made my teeth and my mouth feel so gritty. But you can bet your bottom that I definitely continued eating the edges of the sunflower that, although premature, was ready to eat early, and that part definitely didn't make my mouth bitter. It was really tasty. And I just wanted to keep eating more. And I can confirm that the edges where the white seeds were starting to grow was definitely the best part. And when I was done eating basically both full sunflower heads, I didn't want any of it to go to waste. And I wanted all my friends and family to try it too. So I picked all the good premature seeds out of the flour, put them in a bowl so that we could eat them later on that day. And soon, my journey was coming to an end, and I was thankful that I got to finally experience tasting sunflower meat for the very first time. And I realized that the moral of this story here was that you shouldn't ever let anyone tell you flowers are just for looking at, because some of them are straight up dinner.
This is so cool. Doesn't taste like how I thought it would. It's good. Wow, this is crazy.